Today's learning target is I can solve equations by using the division and multiplication properties of equality. The addition and subtraction properties of equality are going to be very similar to the division and multiplication properties that we're going to take a look at today. So in this case we can see we have 5x, 5 times some number equals 120. Now I want to get this x by itself. So I'm going to do the opposite of what I see. So this is 5 times x. So in order to get rid of it, I'm going to divide it by 5. Okay? Now if I do it to one side, I have to do it to the other side. So if I do 5 divided by 5 on the left here, that's going to get rid of that. It's going to cancel out. It's going to be 1. So that's going to leave me with x equals 120 divided by 5. So when I divide that out, like I've done right here, you can see that I get 24. So x is going to equal 24. On this problem I have y over 4, or y divided by 4, equals negative 8. So if I'm dividing by 4 here, I have to do the opposite. So I'm going to times it by 4. And if I times the one side by 4, I have to times the other side by 4. Now, just like when we were reducing fractions, I can do that. That's going to make that 1. So now I have y on this side, and negative 8 times 4 is negative 32. So y would equal negative 32. And just real quickly, if you're wondering why this canceled out, if you look over here, I'll show you how that works. So when we take a look at this, this 4 is really 4 over 1. And now when we were multiplying fractions, we knew that we could simplify before we solved them if we wanted. So I can see that I can divide 4 into each of these. That leaves me with 1 here and 1 here. So now this is really 1 over 1, which is 1. So 1y. So this would just be plain y. With a problem like this, here again I need to get my x by itself. So I have negative 3/5 here, which would be a division problem. So I'm going to need to do the inverse. And so I'm going to multiply this by 5 over 5/3, and I'm going to make it negative. And the reason I want it to be negative is this is also negative. And I know a negative times a negative is a positive, and I want x to be positive. So I times this by negative 5/3 on that side, so I'm going to do the same thing here. Times it by negative 5 over 3. Now negative 6 is really negative 6 over 1. So this side over here cancels out because I have a negative and a negative right here. So that means it's going to be a positive, and 5 and 5 cancel out to 1 and 1, and 3 and 3 cancel out to 1 and 1. So I'm left with x on this side. Now on my other side here, I can cancel out here. I see 3 goes into both of these. So 3 goes into there once, and 3 goes into here twice. So now here again I'm timesing a negative times a negative, so my answer is going to be positive, and I'm left with 2 times 5 at the top is 10 over 1, which is just x would equal 10.